I was maybe we give them like a minute or two before I do an introduction at 6, just to let like some people come in. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay.
I hope they don't mind being kept waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can let them in if you'd like. Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty close. Okay, I'm gonna admit them all. Okay.
Yeah, let them in. Let them in.
All right, and then at 6:02 I'll start talking, and then I'll pass it off to you.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everybody. Just gonna take a couple minutes and let people log on, and then we'll begin shortly. we'll just wait one more minute and then we'll get started.
All righty.
Well, hello and welcome to UCSC Silicon Valley Extension's webinar, Project Management, the Art and Science of Getting Things Done. My name is Sarah and I'm a Student Services Representative at UCSC Extension. Tonight we're going to start with Frank Mangini's presentation, and afterwards there'll be a 30-minute Q&A session. And please feel free to post any general questions about UCSC Extension in the chat window, and I will answer them as we go along. And with all due, feel free to take it over, Frank.
Thank you, Sarah. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate you coming and spending some of your evening with us. This is an information session, project and program management. I've done this presentation several times in the live classroom, but never through Zoom. So if I stumble a little bit, please forgive me. It's a new format. I see that I have some colleagues in the audience here. And I see Tanya, Carl, Moshe, and Alan. And I don't know who else. But I would appreciate your support as I answer these questions. Chime in. Feel free to chime in when I'm going through the presentation, because between us all, we probably have enough expertise to answer almost any question. Now, this information session, and the primary purpose is to give you, the prospective student, information about our program, so you can make decisions about your career, your future, and what you want to do as far as your education, hopefully with us. So I plan to go through a number of slides to give you an overview, and to let me go to the next slide just to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about here. We're going to talk about who we are, UCSC Extension, who we are, what we do, how long we've been doing it. Talk about a little bit about the future of project management. And this is a future that is seen by the Project Management Institute. And I have some interpretation of that also. So we'll talk about that briefly. Where are we going as project managers? And I like to think of a project manager as a mission leader. So I threw that little parenthesis in there, a mission leader. This is more of the emphasis on the mission and not so much the project. There's a difference. Then we'll talk about the certificate program itself. We're going to talk about the courses we offer, the required courses, the elective courses, and also we'll talk about the program that we have for the Agile certification. It's not a certification, but it's a additional badge, Agile badge that you can earn in concurrence with the project and program management certificate. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. We have quite a number of people. I'd like to get through the presentation. I don't want to discourage questions. So if you have questions, that's fine. If you can hold your question to the end, that's better. But if you need a question answered right away, feel free to chime in and I'll do my best to answer it efficiently. So we've been around, Santa Cruz, UC Santa Cruz has been around for over 50 years, okay? And the program that we talked about, the project and program management certificate, has been around for, I would say, about 40 some years, maybe in the 70s sometime that we started this program. In fact, I had some colleagues that I worked with at Lockheed that helped start this program. And in fact, I've taken some courses from one of them, Hal Moose, who used to be my neighbor here. And he was one of the starting engineers that started this program. So it goes back quite a way. So this program has been in existence for, I'd say, at least 40, 45 years. And it's been developed over those number of years to be a very efficient and timely program. Now, the project and program management curriculum is part of the business area. And I'm showing some of the other areas that we have at UC Santa Cruz. The business area is the one we're associated with, but there are other areas for your information. There are biosciences, design, education, technology. There's quite a bit of courses that are offered by the school. So UC Santa Cruz has quite a name. It's a global name. It's a brand name. It's something that I think, worthwhile being associated with. If you have a certification or a degree from UC Santa Cruz, you're well recognized in the global community. So our program, our project and program management program is offered to advance your knowledge, advance you in your field, whether it be project management or some associate area of project management. If you're interested in making a career change, it would be useful to certainly get the basics knowledge of project management. I had the opportunity of having a person work one of my programs many years ago who was a business analyst who wanted to make this change, a career change, to project management. And I advised him to take courses. Courses were the ones I advised were the ones we taught. And he did that, and he is now a project manager. He's quite prolific as a project manager. And I'm very proud to say that I had some part of that, and so did the school. So career change is another area where you can jump from one career to another with the right knowledge and the right skills, or capturing new opportunities. Maybe you see a startup opportunity that would need the skills of a good project manager or program manager, and get into a startup or whatever new opportunity might be available. So it's career focused. What we teach is career focused. It's very useful, very practical in the real world. So we focus on the knowledge you can put to work right now. Okay, you can leave the classroom and go to work the next day, or where you're doing your work at home or in a company. You can bring that knowledge to your work area. You can bring this real world practices from the classroom to your work area, to your work. So it exposes you to what's going on now, what's the current thinking and processes. And there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of changes going on in the project management field, which I'll talk about briefly later. So it's a dynamic area. You want to be able to keep current, and that's one of the advantages of taking courses, is keeping current. The last bullet is you learn in a simulated environment. I know in my classes, I'm sure other instructors do the same, I put my students into a simulated environment where they actually are solving a problem or addressing an issue, developing some product or some technique to solve a problem, to bring value to a customer. In fact, I'll have to brag a little bit. I've been teaching applied project management for probably over 10 years now. And one of my early case studies that I had my students work on and put together a project plan was a pandemic, believe it or not. And what they had to do is figure out how to get vaccine to the right place in the shortest time. Okay, and what kind of system do they need to build to do that? And my gosh, that's what's going on real time today. I cannot believe it. It's incredible that I was lucky enough to come up with that simulation. So I'm kind of amazed and proud of that. So I'm sure that that the other instructors, and in fact I know they have simulated environments where they put the students in situations where they solve real world problems and practices. Okay, so it's a practical approach. And what I might say also is a lot of our instructors are not trained as instructors per se. They're trained as project managers, as engineers, project managers, practitioners. So you're getting real world experience. When you get advice from our instructors, you're getting advice from real world practices, people who actually have gone through the battle of putting projects together and delivering value to customers. So we have individual courses. You don't have to take the certificate program. You can take individual courses to develop specific skills. We do have the certificate and specialization programs, and I'll talk about that in a moment. This is for developing what are considered widely recognized expertise and skills. Okay, we cover a lot of areas in our certificate program, from DC to daylight, from analog to digital, to Agile to Lean, all those different types of issues and programs. We have evening and weekend classes for accommodating your schedule. And now we have online live classrooms. We don't have live classrooms currently, of course, because of the pandemic, but we have online live classrooms and online courses. The difference, of course, being the online live classrooms, you meet in your class online on Zoom once a week, usually once a week, or some classes are on Saturday, but you meet live on a periodic basis. Whereas the online classes, you never meet with the instructor in a class setting. Okay, you interface with the instructor and other classmates through the online asynchronous Zoom classes or Zoom links, or email if you're using email. Are there any questions so far? Okay. Recently, we've become a PMI authorized training partner. What does this mean? This means that UC Santa Cruz, Silicon Valley is authorized by the PMI to support the professional development of project management and project management practitioners. All right. And the courses that you take here are good for credits towards a what they call a PDU, professional development unit. These are units you have to earn if you're a PMP certified project manager. These are credits you're required to earn over a period of years to maintain your credentials. We're authorized to teach courses to give you credits for those credentials, for those PDUs, professional development units. In addition, we are authorized to offer a PMP, Project Management Professional Examination Prep course using PMI authorized material. So the material we teach in that course is actually generated and authorized to be used by the Project Management Institute. All our other courses are instructor generated material. And that instructor generated material is in general alignment with the project management body of knowledge, which is the standard that the PMI uses for project management. So we're well equipped to provide you the wherewithal to get your PMP in addition to the certificate that we offer from UC Santa Cruz, and also give you credits for PDUs after you become a PMP. So it's an ongoing process. It's a continuous learning process that we're involved in, and that we will support our students throughout their career. Now, the PMI puts out a paper once a year, I think it's once a year, called Pulse of the Profession, which is an in-depth report of what's going on in the project management field. This one here was put out last year, and I thought it said a lot about where we're going today. And let me just move my symbol here so I can see what it says. The project management of the future, developing digital age project management skills to thrive in disruptive times. So this is where they see the profession going. It's going to be dealing with disruption and change. Everything is changing. I mean, over my lifetime, I've seen the electrification of everything we've ever built. Like when I started, I hate to say this, when I started school, we had typewriters. Then they electrified typewriters, and of course, typewriters, even electric typewriters are now obsolete, and they've electrified those into what we're talking about now, computers and laptops and all the things that we've digitized. So we go from mechanical, electrical, and now we're digitizing everything. All right, and your cars are being converted to electrical, and they're going to be digitized. They're already digitized to drive on their own. So that's where we're going. We need to keep up the skills in the project management area to keep up with that. All right, and to develop ourselves over our career to meet disruption and to thrive with disruption. So I have students that ask me questions, and I tell them they need to immerse themselves. They need to immerse themselves in a long-term career strategy. Because I believe to become a successful, sought-after project manager, you must immerse yourself with a career-long commitment to learning and improving, because you must lead and change to match or exceed the rapid changes around you. Nothing is standing still, and neither can you stand still. You need to move with the science, with the technology, what is happening around us. All right. So students will ask me, should I get the UCSC Extension Project and Program Management Certificate, or should I get the PMI Professional Management or PM Professional Certificate? And I say, go for both of them. Go for all that you can get. All right, because you're never going to be able to stop learning. And you can't stop improving. It's not an option. There's people in high school right now training to replace you. All right. And so you have to keep that in mind, that you're going to be replaced if you fall behind. And so to me, that means you need a career-long commitment to education, to learning, to improving. And I'm hopeful that this program here is the key to that for a lot of people. And I think it was for me when I took the certification. I was laid off from my job. Well, I didn't actually, my company was bought out by another company, and then I had the choice of either going with a new company or going and getting to do something else. So I just chose to not go with the new company, with the other company, and I took the certificate here. I took the certificate program, and it's been very, very useful for me. And I can attest to that. That it wasn't time wasted; it was time well spent. Okay, so that's the background. What I want to do now is go into the specifics of our certificate program and give you some information that you might need to make decisions about your own involvement. So this certificate has an academic requirement of 4 required courses that you must take, of course, that's what required means, 105 classroom hours for those 4 courses. And then you can choose 3 elective courses. And the 3 elective courses, usually most of our elective courses are 15 classroom hours each. So 3 of those would be 45 classroom hours. So you could get the certificate after you take the 7 courses. It's 150 hours of classroom, okay? You need to maintain a 3.0 minimum grade point average. The minimum acceptable grade for any course is C or better, of course. And you have 5 years. It used to be 3. Now it's 5 years to complete the certificate after you declare that you're going to go for the certificate, after your candidacy declaration. Any questions about that? Don't be bashful. All right. Now, something relatively new, and again, we're changing, we're changing with the change. We have a lean, agile project management specialization, which you can get on its own. You say, hey, I'm going to take 2 required lean, agile project management courses of 30 hours each. I'm sorry, 30 hours total, 15 hours each, and 2 elective lean, agile project management courses for another 30 hours, which is a total of 60 hours. That will get you a lean, agile project management specialization designation, like a badge. Same academic requirements, 3.0 grade point, and a minimum acceptable course grade is C. Now, you can actually do both the P&PM, the Project and Program Management Certificate, and the Lean Agile Project Specialization at the same time. You can overlap these courses and make 3 of these courses, the 3 required courses, as part of your P&PM certification from UCSC. So you end up taking 1 extra course, and you can get both. If you want to do the specialization, you can take 1 extra course and have a certificate in the Project and Program Management, and also Lean Agile Project Management specialization, which is attached to that certificate. So it shows you as a specialist in that area. Does that make sense? Did I confuse anybody with that?
Hey, Frank, this is Alan. We have a couple questions in the chat room.
Okay.
So Richard asked, what does it mean to declare candidacy, and when would one declare it?
Well, as far as I know, and Alan, maybe you can correct me on this. As far as I know, you declare candidacy when you say, I'm going to go for the certificate. I want to earn the certificate. All right. And I believe you can wait till after you take the first course to do that. Although I'm not sure of that. I think you take the first, or you can take it before the first course, but I think you have to do it. You have to declare a candidacy sometime after you take the first required course. Is there any, is that right?
That's an interesting question. Tanya, do you have any insight?
Yes. Actually, students can declare candidacy when they start the program. The benefits are they lock in the requirements for the certificate, and they can go by the rules that apply at the time they declare candidacy. It's also free, so it's not, they don't incur any costs. So we would advise people, if they're thinking of, seriously thinking of going towards certificate, to declare candidacy. But if they want to, they can do it after the first class or the second class. There are no restrictions.
But after they declare candidacy, they still have 5 years. In other words, they could go halfway through the program and then spend 2 years on the program. Then when they declare candidacy, they still have another 5 years.
It's 3 years.
No, it's 5. Well, they told me it changed to 5.
Frank, this is Carl. I think that courses are valid to count toward the certificate, but you have a 3-year completion window, if that makes sense, from the time you declare candidacy. For those of you who may find this a little bit academic and arcane, because we're part of the University of California, and because we have academic standards that we follow, think of declaring candidacy a little bit like when you declared a major if you were an undergraduate student. So what it does is it sets out the requirements at that point in time that you need to fulfill. If the requirements change after you've declared candidacy, you don't have to replan your degree or your certificate. That's already set aside, and all you have to do is meet the requirements that were in place when you're declared candidacy. The nice thing about the project management certificate program is that it's been very stable over time in terms of the requirements. So not much changes. Think of it as a little bit more of an academic formality, but in a sense, it protects you and your investment in time and tuition by setting up what will be the requirements that you'll complete in order to get the certificate, should you decide to do a certificate program.
Thank you, Carl. So what you're saying is once you declare candidacy, then you basically, when you've done that, you've frozen the rules that you're operating under.
But you could always change your major, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, Frank, I'm looking at the website and it is 5 years.
Okay, it has changed. That's new for some of us.
Yeah. In fact, I just changed the deck before I started the seminar tonight. I had 3 years up here. I just changed it to 5 because I was told that it was changed to 5. I didn't know it until just about a half hour ago.
Frank?
Yes.
I have not checked since the last update, but there is a question, or there was a concern previously, how far back your courses will count towards those educational hours, that you have to have taken the courses within a window of time. And I have not checked that. I can go look for it. But that's something to check and consider.
That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
And I believe that is the 5-year window, but Tanya may have more current information.
Yeah, as far as our certificate program, it's 5 years.
Excellent.
Tanya, do we have anybody ever running up against this problem?
No, not for project management.
Okay. Because project management is we train people to do things on time. That's why, right?
Comes with the territory.
Okay, so here are the courses that are required. These are required courses for the project and program management certificate. All right, and you see the title of the courses, the course number, and the units. Now the units mean there's 10 hours of classroom time for each unit. So you multiply that by 10, you get 30, you multiply 1.5 by 10, you get 15 classroom hours. And we have these online as well as live online. They have both formats for all 4 of these courses. So they're quite available as far as their offerings. Now here are the elective courses. We have 21 elective courses, and they're divided into categories that kind of describe what these courses are about. These are the elective courses here that have to do with leadership and management, where you get into management of projects and leadership techniques. For instance, we have clinical project management, creating a successful team, managing international projects, managing projects at startup companies, managing software projects, managing development of new products, outsourcing, and contract management. I put a little asterisk on the courses that are being offered this winter quarter, starting now. Okay, I'm not sure if any of these courses have started yet, but they will be starting shortly because they're going to be offered in the winter quarter, which started yesterday. So if you're interested in one of these courses and you haven't signed up yet, you might want to look into that rather rapidly. And then the venue. Some of these courses are live online only. Some are online and live online. Okay. Now I think I made an error on the slide here. I've got classroom. There is no classroom course, okay, for clinical project management as far as I know. And it's probably live online, but I can't be sure of that. All right, so you need to look into that. You can go to the website and find out whether that is a live online class or an online class if you're interested in clinical project management. So that's the elective courses having to do with leadership and management. Okay, now you don't have to pick all your courses out of one area. You can pick one here and one out of another area. Another area is the tools and techniques courses, having to do more with the mechanics and processes, decision-making tools and techniques, effective negotiations, principles, strategies, and techniques, managing projects with Microsoft Project, principles of business analysis, quality management for enterprises, products, and programs, schedule optimization techniques for managers. And again, I put asterisks on the courses that are going to be offered, here in the winter quarter. And you notice these are all live online. There's no, these are all synchronous courses. And that means the classes meet live once a week or whatever time frame they have. Some of these are on Saturday. So maybe 2 Saturdays or 3 Saturdays, probably 2 Saturdays, maybe 3 Saturdays, depending on the format. Lastly, we have quite a number of lean agile project management courses. And this is the area where we're expanding the most, where the PMI, the Project Management Institute, is becoming more agile oriented. They're offering more agile certifications. And so we are following that trend by having more agile lean courses being offered. Project management using Scrum. We have achieving organizational agility using scaled agile framework. It's called SAFE, S-A-F-E. You might see that in the literature. Agile project lifecycle management, extreme agile project management, foundations of discipline, agile for project managers. This is a new course that follows the route that PMI is taking with discipline agile. They're offering a lot of this. Actually, I think there's 5 or 6.
Masakit doon. Kung ito yung pakon sa sasakyan, di tulungan mo ako rin pag
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I think there might have been just an open mic.
Okay, someone was talking to their spouse or something. Okay, then we have discipline agile is a big thrust now for the PMI. If you go to PMI.org and look at what's going on there, you'll see that there's a lot of information, a lot of changeover to discipline agile as far as the emphasis on certification. We have lean agile project management, practical emotional intelligence for agile and project leaders. This is EI. This is one of the emphasis also that's being promoted by the PMI, and having emotional intelligence, being able to deal with leadership issues and being able to deal with different perspectives from different people, okay? Principle-based leadership for project managers. And I've noticed here again, I've put an asterisk on the ones that are being offered in the winter quarter. And I put a double asterisk at the beginning of the courses that are required. These are the required courses for the Lean Agile specialization. Okay, if you want to pursue Lean Agile specialization, you have to take these 2 courses at the top here, Agile Project Management using Scrum and Achieving Organizational Agility using the Scaled Agile Framework. You take these 2 courses and 2 other courses, and you get the specialization tag or badge. That's a relatively new offering. In fact, it is very new. Now, I know I said a lot in the last few minutes. Are there any questions about this? Okay. And then
Frank, there was a question that came up in the chat that
yes,
was partially answered, but might deserve a little more clarification.
Okay.
And one of the participants was asking if the UC Santa Cruz project management certification requirements are synonymous with the PMI exam preparation course, or is the exam preparation a separate offering? It is a separate offering, but maybe you could address how we align with PMI principles, because that does act basically as an industry standard that we like to adhere to.
Well, our courses are aligned with the PMBOK, the Project Management Body of Knowledge. Okay, and we were certified. We were certified last year as a registered education provider of PMI, which means our courses were valid and in sync with PMI teaching and the PMBOK in general. Okay, so all the courses are aligned in that direction. Now, we don't, some of the things we teach may not be in the PMBOK. Some of our instructors have training that maybe not specific to the PMBOK. Okay, but we don't contradict the PMBOK. We're in general alignment with it, and so our courses are produced and approved, not produced, but approved by the PMI. All right. Now, since we are a accredited education partner, accredited training partner now, we will be following the same protocol in terms of our courses. All right. And we will be probably audited in the next couple of years for alignment to what is being taught or what is being published in the PMBOK and the PMI literature. All right. That's in general for our courses that we teach. And we'll have to update our courses as a PMBOK gets updated and as the basis of knowledge for the PMP exam changes, we would certainly update our courses. But if you really want to take the PMP exam and pass it, you need to really consider taking the PMP examination prep courses, which is the one I'm showing up here now. This prep course, starting 2 days ago or 3 days ago, has now changed to not only include the PMBOK, the Project Management Body of Knowledge 6th edition, but now it encompasses much more. It expands beyond the PMBOK, and there are a lot of other areas that are being tested. In fact, the test questions have changed dramatically. They used to be multiple choice. Now they're mix and match, multiple match, all different formats of questions. That exam started, according to the information I have, started this week. All right. And if you want to prepare for that exam, then you need to really, I highly recommend that you take the examination prep course, all right, which doesn't contradict what we teach in the other courses, but expands upon those areas which are going to be tested in the PMP exam, all right. And it will cover more than just the PMBOK. It will cover other volumes of knowledge that are published, and the PMI lets you know what those are. We, as a educational organization, have been authorized through our partnership program with PMI to teach this course according to their material. They provide the material. We actually pay for the material from the PMI, and we use that material to teach this course. So it's an authorized course that we teach that will prepare you to take the exam, the PMP exam. It's a 35-hour course, okay? And this satisfies the 35 hours of contact time you need in order to qualify to take the course. If you haven't taken other courses, in other words, let's say you haven't taken other courses, but you're only taking this course to take the exam, you need 35 hours of preparation that you can show the PMI that you satisfy. And this course satisfies that requirement, okay? So this course is something we haven't taught this. We've taught this course before, but not using PMI material. Now we're going to be using PMI material. In fact, you can't teach a prep course anymore without using PMI material, not an authorized course at least. I hope that answers the question. I was kind of long-winded. I'm sorry. Any more questions? Carl, anything else I missed?
No, that was fine. I just wanted people to understand that our regular courses, the majority of our curriculum, although it aligns with PMI's guidelines, are independent courses. They are not exam preparation courses. We go well above and beyond what you might learn if you were just trying to prepare for an exam, but we
Right.
do offer an exam preparation course, which if you are going to sit for the exam is very, very important to take. I've seen people with 25 years of experience fail the
I
PMP
know.
exam because they
So,
thought
so,
they knew it all.
so have I.
And I
You
think
know,
Moshe had a comment.
yes, Moshe.
Oh, it's okay. No need anymore. You
Okay.
said you caught up
Okay.
and said it. What I wanted to say.
Okay. You know, what I say sometimes to my students is our courses, our general courses, teach you how to manage projects, how to deliver value. Okay, based on the experience of many hundreds of hours of maybe thousands of hours of instructors' experience as real project managers. I know I've had 30 years of experience as a project manager, and I bring to the classroom a lot of the do's and don'ts that I've seen and I've personally been involved with. So our courses teach you how to deliver value on a project, not specifically to pass an exam. Now you might say, well, is there a difference? Well, probably. Okay. You know, if you really want to focus on passing the exam, yeah, I'll take the exam preparation course. But if you really want to know what the real world problems are, get exposure to our instructors who are teaching our general courses. All right. And you'll learn a lot there too.
Yeah, would like to add that for this prep course for the PMP exam, there's a lot of material really specific to the mechanics of the exam. How is it built? How many questions? How much time do you have?
Right.
How to prepare for it?
Right.
Tips for the exam, do's and don'ts, which are not applicable to general project management.
Right.
It's teaching you specifically how to excel as much as possible to take the exam specifically. So this is optimized for that.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent remark. Yes. Thank you. Well, this is just a summary of all the offerings here. I just thought I'd add everything up. We have 26 courses in our curriculum, the 4 required, which includes the capstone course. The capstone course is supposed to be taken last of the 4. It's the applied project management course. We have 21 electives, 7 in the leadership and management courses, 6 in the tools and techniques, and 8 in the lean agile project management. I just went through those with you. So we have 21 elective courses, and then we have the PMP exam prep course. Now that's not part of the curriculum as far as the requirement to get the P&PM. The project and program management certificate that we award here does not include that course. Okay, that's not a credible course for that certificate. So a lot of which I've said today and more can be gotten at our website. You go to our website, there's a lot of information there, what our current course offerings are, what's being offered each quarter, all right, who the instructors are, syllabi are there, enrollment procedure, and all the policy details that you might be interested in. So I would highly encourage you to go to this website here, www.ucscextension.edu, to fill in any information that you might need to enroll or answer any of your questions. All right, so I'm at a point now, I went over, as a good program manager, I went over time. I want to know what's on your mind. Are there any questions that I haven't answered or you need answered that I haven't even talked about?
And Alan, or sorry, Frank, while folks are thinking about that, maybe those of us who are staff and instructors could each do a quick 15, 30-second introduction so the folks who are participating know who we are and a little bit about our perspective.
Sounds like a great idea. Well, I teach 4 courses. I've been teaching here for since 2002. I teach extreme agile project management. I teach applied project management. I teach project integration and risk management, and I teach lean agile project management. And I really have a great time with my students. I give them the most practical information I can. I give them the benefit of the experience I've had and the mistakes I've made, and the benefit of the mistakes I've seen others make. Okay, and I put them in a simulated classroom environment as if they were on an actual project. I run all my all my courses in teams. All my students form teams of 2 to 4 people, and they work remotely, just like they will have to in the real world. So they get the practice of working in a remote team. And I work with those teams, and I work closely with them to make sure they get the right information. And when they deliver a product to me, I review it and give it back to them if it's not perfect, and give them a chance to resubmit it. And so they get a lot of hands-on. And I really enjoy my job, and I really welcome students in my classroom. Moshe, how about you?
I teach 2 courses, the Agile Project Management using Scrum, and the prep course for the PMP exam that we discussed a minute ago.
Right.
Been doing it for many years. Not only, I'm relatively new here, maybe a year plus at UC Santa Cruz, but I've been teaching at UC Berkeley for quite some time now. Also the same material and other material also.
Great.
And that's about it. Glad to be here and help new generations of students pass the test and learn what Agile is all about. For a lot of people, Scrum, Agile, Kanban, all these words are kind of buzzwords flying around their head. They're not sure exactly what it is. They heard about it. It's supposed to be something cool. So come along, come over. We'll teach you what it is.
That's great. I may jump into your class just to learn what's going on with PMI. Carl.
Hi, folks. I'm Carl Rand, the only marine biologist in the group, and I have to tell you, I have learned about so many things not to do from Frank. You know, he was talking about mistakes. Yeah, I've learned a lot of mistakes from Frank. I'm one of the unique folks here who's a staff member at Extension, but I'm also an instructor. I came on board as a staff member in 2015, as an instructor in 2012. I've taught at Berkeley, Irvine, and UC Santa Cruz Extension programs, San Jose State Professional Development. But most of my background is in technology project management in the private sector. Frank talked about being laid off. I've been through that 4 times in my career, which has included work with IBM, Visa, Intuit, Computer Associates, Bay Networks, which was acquired by Nortel, and Network Appliance. And there's some other things in there in between. So echoing what Frank has been saying, we've been through the ringer, those of us who are members of the teaching group here, and we have a lot of personal and professional experience to share. I think that's the value we bring to your professional development. And I also tend to favor a very experiential approach to education. As a matter of fact, in one class, I explained to the students when somebody asked, are there going to be exams? Is there a final? Is there a midterm? And I said, oh, no, we don't do exams in this course. We do case studies. And they thought, oh, my gosh, phew, no exams. This is going to be a great class, hardly any work to do, right? Case studies can be more challenging and a bit more time consuming, but you learn so much more by doing real world work in your learning process. So that's the way I like to focus on it.
Great. Thank you. Alan, do you have anything to say for us?
Sure. So I'm Alan. I'm one of the instructors here. I've done all the core courses at one time. I was just noting some of the questions in the chat room. One of the interesting things I think this year was the question about doing these live online classes, right? Which was something new for us. And I will just say that in my experience, those have been way better than expected, both from my perspective and from the students' perspective. And one of the great things about Extension, I think, is as much as I would like to take credit as an instructor, some of the things that students like best are the other students that they meet and get to work with. So, you know, our students are coming from all kinds of different backgrounds. Some of them are already project managers. Some of them are kicking the tires to see if they might want to be project managers. So this is really a great opportunity to meet others with perspective that, you know, like I said, as much as we can tell you as instructors what it's like, I think having peers that you can take your classes with is really important. So as Carl was saying, when you get an opportunity in teams to work together, that really comes through.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that addresses a couple of the questions that came up, one about networking and one about, you know, trying to figure out, is this profession right for me? Even though we're live online right now, and hopefully we'll be back in the classroom soon, the fact that you're interacting with other professionals from different disciplines helps you both in the networking and in assessing, you know, do I really want to be this in this profession? So
it's actually remarkable how many times a student will make a connection that leads to a new opportunity, just because, oh my gosh, you need to talk to this person. So it is, you know, the way that networking works is does happen in our classrooms.
Right. And also, as many organizations adapt to being remote and choose to be at least partially remote, working in teams and having these live online classes are going to prepare you for being a project manager in these virtual environments. So you are getting real world experience.
Susan, why don't you tell us what you're teaching?
I am teaching practical emotional intelligence.
Yes.
I've been a project manager longer than I want to. I just didn't know that I was one. I started life out designing integrated voice and data systems, and I thought project managers wore hard hats and worked on construction sites. And I was got involved. I went from AT&T, the world's largest company at the time, to the world's smallest startup at that time, went public, and then I went to work with a global software company. And I had drunk the Kool-Aid and believed that technology would drive business. And what I learned working for that global company was, it's the people, stupid. You know, and so I pivoted and started working with project management and leadership project development officially. So I have been a PMP for just about 10 years now. And I moved from the East Coast, where I worked for, oh goodness, 7 years with a project management certificate program at an extension. And during that time, I became certified in emotional intelligence. And the reason I call it practical is emotional intelligence is about balance and choices and behaviors. So what we talk about is observing behaviors and how you make those choices to take control and maintain balance in difficult, challenging situations. So we spend a lot of time looking that it's not difficult people, they're just people who think and behave differently than you do. And so they're not bad, they're not good. We are who we are, and you are the only person you can only change your behavior. You can't change anybody else's. So we make it very practical and take intangible leadership qualities and turn them into tangible, actionable, action plans. And so we have a good time, and that's we spend a lot of time with case studies and playing with real world experiences.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Maybe I'll jump into that course.
You should.
Hong, are you here?
Sorry, I was muted. Hello, everyone. Yes, I've been working in the Bay Area since 1997. I was working for a long time for Sun Microsystems, Symantec, and other high tech companies. A lot of project and program management, also touching on the business side as well, not just development. And a lot of it also more than projects, actually, it's really product management, product life cycles and those things. And I worked for a utility for PG&E, which is a electric utility. So a lot of compliance requirements and that sort of thing. And then I moved into Agile, especially with Scrum, and then SAFe for scaling Agile. And that's what I've been teaching here at UCSC for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my particular focus is to make sure that the students are prepared for what's expected of them in the job that they eventually will get. And I tend to teach really what I think are going to be in high demand, either immediately or in the near future, what companies are going to need. And up front, most of my courses, I start up front with information about market, what's changing in the market, and why this particular area is going to be in high demand. So certainly SAFe has been ramping up, scaling Agile has been ramping up. Agile is ramping up, and software is ramping up. That's the next thing I'm going to teach as well. Everything is software nowadays, if you notice, and things change. Change is really the name of the game now. In fact, for that matter, for the past couple of years, I've been into projects like having to do with blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and things like that. And those things will keep, they will ebb and flow, they will rise and fall, but they will keep coming and they will keep changing. So now there's a lot more eventually about machine learning, AI, robotics, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I look forward to really give you a very solid foundation. Who would you be working with? Who are the stakeholders? How to interface with them? What they expect of you? What you can expect of them? What can go wrong? That sort of thing. So yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Are there any other instructors that I've missed that want to chime in? I don't see any. Tanya, would you like to say anything? Tanya?
No, Frank, nothing to add.
All right.
Tanya is one of our expert administrators, by the way. She keeps the trains running in project and program management from an administrative standpoint. I've worked with her for 6 years now. She's a wonderful member of our staff.
She kind of project manages all of us.
She does.
Yeah, she's got us all lined up.
She's the best. She's the best and the only project manager here in terms of the actual work doing here.
She's very customer client focused.
Yeah.
Sarah does a very good job of that as well.
Are there any?
You got us here tonight.
Are there any other chat questions? I for some reason I can't see the chat. Are there any other chat questions that we need to answer?
I noticed one, Frank. An individual was asking, do we plan to continue to offer online classes if we cannot attend in person later this year and into next? And if I remember correctly, all of our core classes, as well as most of our, or at least many of our electives, are offered in an asynchronous online environment. So you can complete the certificate entirely online if you are not able to attend in person. Tanya and Frank, am I correct?
That is correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's true. Right.
Yeah. So we've had the classroom, we've had the traditional online, what we're calling asynchronous online. Now we're live online instead of being in the classroom. And if it isn't too much of a giveaway, I know that our dean is looking forward to additional modes of classroom and online delivery in a hybrid type of environment. And I think he's going to talk about some of that in his upcoming presentation this week. Do you have the date and time of that by any chance, Tanya?
Actually, I do. Give me a minute.
So those of you who are on the the program now and might be interested in hearing from our dean and learning more about his vision for the future and how our programs are going to adapt, that might be a good session to attend. But just from personal experience as an instructor and a staff member, I know he's thinking about how can we accommodate the virtual audience in combination with the in-class audience. And we're actually working on physical classroom design to enable some future capabilities like that. So you might be able to take a classroom course virtually or classes asynchronously and put those together in a program that works for you, meeting the requirements of a specialization or a certificate, for example. And that's not just in project management, that's across the different areas of curriculum that Frank introduced early on in his presentation. So he's thinking broadly about how can we better meet the needs of our students locally and remotely.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
To that point,
Tanya,
if I may add some.
Oh yeah, please.
I may add. So I think that was a trend that has started prior to COVID and absolutely accelerated by COVID, which is working remotely and working with remote teams, remote team members, working remotely and online, right? Live online, for example.
Absolutely.
More live online than just how would I say, recorded. So that said, for project managers in your job, it will be very much on your shoulders to be leading online remotely. So that's a skill to acquire, definitely. That's extremely important. So as we teach online, you would, I mean, the effort is on the shoulders of the instructors, of course, but then if you are given homework to do, that to deliver online, beware, that's really what will be required of you in the workplace. So something to look forward to.
And Hong, I think you're very accurate about that. I mentioned some of the companies I've worked for. In every single corporation in which I've worked, there have been remote teams, some of them domestic, some of them international, across different time zones. We've had staff and status meetings at midnight Pacific time so that we can accommodate development teams in Asia. And we go back and forth, sharing the pain of the midnight meetings. But that's the way the world has been working for a long time. And as you've suggested, the pandemic has just accelerated the movement into virtual workspaces. So it's critical to understand how to do that well, what we're doing right now.
All right. Are there any other questions we haven't answered from the chat room?
I'm seeing one. Does the PMP exam prep course cover content in the new certification exam that PMI launched in January 2021?
Yes. Because the PMP prep course that we're going to be teaching comes from the PMI who issues the exam. Yeah, so they perfectly align, hopefully. Does that answer the question? I guess. Any other questions?
I got the information for the upcoming session from the dean, and I'm going to put that into chat and send it out to everyone. So you can capture that link, or you can find it at our website. And just for your edification, it is on January 13th, and it's going to be at 2 p.m.
Right.
So you can follow that link and register, or you simply go to our website and look for the events and the future of classroom instruction, key shifts in professional education, delivered by our Dean, P.K. Agarwal.
Right. Any other questions that we didn't answer? Don't be bashful. I see a lot of chat questions here, but it looks like some of them or most of them have been answered.
Yeah, we had quite a few little quick submissions about the date and time for the dean's presentation. So
right,
well covered. We're good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you all coming and helping me out and listening to what we had to say. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope it helps you in your career decision. And the only thing I can say is stay safe, stay well.
We'll try to do that.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good
night.
luck.
Thank you. Thank you, instructors. I appreciate it.
Glad to
Thank you,
do
sir.
it. It was good
Thank
to
you,
see
sir.
everybody.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
Happy
Way to
New
go.
Year.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
We will. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.